Happy Friday, and it's time for a new vlog. All right. Well, you guys are getting a treat today. You're getting 2 vlogs for the price of 1, right? Oh, yes. I'm going to be uploading another vlog too because I did miss vlogging earlier this week, and not to mention yesterday I did say I was going to make 2 vlogs today because we have a lot to talk about today. Firstly is going to be orientated more towards RuneScape 3's future, about the removal of Treasure Hunter and some microtransaction, restoring integrity into RuneScape 3, and then vlog number 2 is primarily going to be driven around old school RuneScape. Got some really cool stuff to talk about, especially when it comes to sailing related as well. If you can just do me one really big favor and smash that like button, is completely free. I am working on getting a bung board because I thought that I still had the bung board, but apparently, anyone that doesn't know, I actually did some relocating in the last couple years across country. So I ended up downsizing a little bit, or rather getting rid of a lot of junk, and I think I accidentally, or maybe just tossed the bung board out. Oh, man. But I can get a gigantic, brand new big bung board as well. On a different note, though, here, actually, I got 2 folds for you guys. Firstly, if anyone is suffering with any type of facial dermatitis is primarily around this area. I just did a complete house cleanse, had all my windows open, had my AC units on, had some fans going, ended up doing a lot of dusting, and to be honest, after about like 3 days of airing everything out, my facial dermatitis is very well retracted. So yeah. I have tried steroid cream. I have tried different types of oral medication over the years. But it's definitely more so related about stuffiness, weather, and I mean, it's different for everyone. But if you do have any wuggly things on your face, maybe doing a house air out can definitely help you. Second thing on the agenda here, I have installed my RAM. Oh yeah. Oh, we are ready for streams, baby. I honestly can't believe how big of a difference upgrading your RAM really is with Windows 11. I utterly despise Windows 11, not because of how it's like by all means. I mean, Windows 10, Windows 11, it's, you know, a pretty decent operating system. I am a very old school human being. My favorite operating system that I've ever had to use has been Windows 2000 Server Edition, because the operating system doesn't do anything with it unless you tell it to. It doesn't even suggest anything. It will not restart your computer. It will not force you to do anything. You are in full control of everything. That's how it should be. I don't like how it restarts without my permission. It does what it wants to do. It sends my data to Bill Gates and other Julios. It's not good. But otherwise, yeah. The fact that Windows 11 takes up so much space, that is criminal. An operating system should not take up that much damn space. It's like when Windows 12, you know, friggin' Bill Gates said that Windows 10 was going to be the last operating system. Go figure, huh? Yeah, really? When Windows 12 comes out, we're probably going to need like 128 gigs of RAM. And the RAM that I just ordered, it was pretty damn expensive because the laptop that I bought had 2 16 gig sticks. So I had to order 2 32 gig sticks. Like DDR5 5600. That is, I did get a little bit of a sale, but you're talking, I think it was like over $500. Like, it was pretty expensive. Okay, but anyways, everything's kosher now. Let's get into it. So, I talked about this yesterday, and a lot of people, I was reading through the comments, and a lot of people hit me up also on Discord, and said, wow, RuneScape 3 is actually going to try to make a comeback in a way of some integrity. What does that necessarily, mean, and what does it possibly look like? So, the removal of Treasure Hunter beginning in January is going to be a shape in the right direction, but the damage is really done. And a lot of people have already said this, including myself, unfortunately. The damage over the years of people buying microtransactions, I'm not even talking about RuneScape bonds. Check out my video on my main channel yesterday, because I ended up buying myself a Christmas present for $764. I legitimately bought, hold on one second, 80 bonds, 80 bonds times 162 mil. I literally bought myself 12.9 billion GP. Holy shit. I didn't realize that I bought myself that much GP. When you go ahead and say it out loud, it's just kind of like a wow. That's pretty damn funny. Hey, whatever. I've never had a blue party hat before in my life, so it's pretty cool. I'm not gonna lie. Having a blue party hat on RuneScape 3, it's pretty damn cool. But removing Treasure Hunter is not going to remove bonds, and it's not going to remove, because here's the thing. I ended up spending $124 because Jagex was doing a double key for Halloween, and I wanted to go ahead and make a video to see how much GP I could actually do by having 950 keys for Treasure Hunter. $120 got me, I believe it was like 2 point something bill. So $95, 10 bonds got me 1.6 billion GP, 1.62. So therefore, I got really lucky because it was double keys, but if you don't, everyone knows that if you want RuneScape GP on RS3, you basically pretty much buy bonds. You don't, spend money on Treasure Hunter. Pretty straightforward. Because Treasure Hunter, unless they're doing a promotion, it's pretty much like a losing aspect of, a game. It's like going to a casino, the house always wins. But, I mean, if you have double chances, that is a little different in a way. Because I have gambled before at casinos. I don't really do it too often, but I have walked away as a profitable gambler. And the way that I gamble is that I will literally spend a couple $100, and if I go up by literally $100, I just have that willpower to pretty much stop. When it comes to drinking, oh no. Yeah, that's the whole reason why I ended up stop drinking alcohol, is because I can go ahead and be around alcohol, but the moment that I start drinking, I just cannot stop. I cannot have one drink. I gotta have two, then 2 is 4, then 4 is 8, then 8 turns into blackout drunk. It doesn't stop. Gambling very easily for me to stop. So Treasure Hunter in a way is really a gamble-like game, but how can it bring back integrity if people can just buy bonds? It really can't. You know, a lot of people don't even know about what is on the screen behind me, and I haven't even talked about it yet in 9 minutes into this video. Legacy Combat Mode is something that is utterly forgotten, and I might do a couple videos, maybe on my gaming channel. Nightmare RH vs. Gaming is up rock and rolling again, just like this channel. Although, maybe I might do it just on my main channel. But Legacy Mode came out 14 July 2014. I'll never forget it. I started transitioning into full-time streaming back then on Twitch, and that was around the same time that I ended up closing down this channel. I closed down all my other channels. I'm like, hey, I'm only going to have one YouTube channel, and I'm also going to be on Twitch TV as well, too. definitely check out my live streams. So during this time period, I was actually streaming a lot of Legacy Combat. And the vast majority of people, even though people were playing old school RuneScape, a lot of people found it very, like, relatively interesting. Because when you go ahead and have Legacy Combat, you essentially play the game like it was before EOC. And before, like, everything just went to... But the caveat is that you'd be a utter dumbass to do Legacy Combat mode with all the new high-level bosses. It's actually, like, damn near impossible. I don't even know how Necromancy is on RuneScape 3 with Legacy mode. I really should, like, test it out because I have 120 Necromancy. But it just kind of really blows my mind away on how forgotten of, like, a game mode this is. So many people on RuneScape 3 don't even know how to actually activate Legacy Combat. Yesterday's video of mine that I uploaded, I am in Legacy Combat mode interface, and a lot of people are like, "Whoa, you know, how come your screen doesn't look different?" And that's really because I'm just in a different like interface, like, mode. Still the same game, you're just in a different mode. For example, if I go ahead and hop on old school RuneScape using the Steam client, it's very different. If I go ahead and hop on old school RuneScape with RuneLite or with HDOS, it's very different. You can also fully customize what they look like now, and it's just like, there's so many different ways you can look, but RuneScape 3 is a little different because we don't have, like, different types of clients. So, if you really ask my opinion, what are a couple ways that Jagex can really bring back integrity? It could really be probably ramping up maybe Legacy mode, maybe rebuffing or redoing Legacy mode to make it so it's not as, like, less accurate than EOC. Because here's the thing, and I've also tested this out. If I go ahead and fight a boss using Legacy mode, it's not as effective as Evolution of Combat, as using, like, my keyboard to use skills. So therefore, if Jagex gave Legacy mode a buff, maybe that could bring back some integrity, saying, hey, you know, Treasure Hunter is gone, you can play the game a little different. We ended up buffing up Legacy mode. It's, you know, pretty cool and stuff, right? Or another thing they could do is just severely suppress microtransactions. I think that's ultimately what they mean by bringing integrity back to the game. Lastly, this might be utterly crazy, but I think it's really time for the RuneScape 3 team to really consider this. Pretty much adding in a prestige system. There are so many people that have gotten 200 mil in their skills because of microtransactions, or because of this fast leveling up of like combat or just jackassery of AFK-ness. Maybe it's time to really in place a prestige system. I've talked about this a lot, especially over the last couple years. I mean, the vast majority of people that are walking around with 200 million EXP in cooking, in, like, fire making, in mining. Yes, mining is completely AFK-able. Fishing is completely AFK-able. It's a joke. Let alone the practically every person that does, like, high-level PVM has near 200 mil in hit points, has 200 mil maybe in Slayer, attack, defense, strength, mage, range, necromancy, invention. So one of the ways they might be able to do integrity is saying, hey, let's go ahead and add a prestige system where you reset your 99 and level it back up. Maybe have a check in the box for you to go ahead and play with 0 microtransactions. And, okay, maybe that would be a little bit too hard, but it's primarily I'm trying to really brainstorm and I'm trying to really think about some good predictions. It's either going to be that the RS3 team just goes ahead and says like, "Hey, here is RuneScape 3 with no treasure hunter. Let's run with it." Or maybe they're actually going to dive deeper and be like, "Hey, yeah, you can go ahead and reset like a bunch of your 99s. You can go ahead and prestige up like in Black Ops in a way." It's going to be interesting to see what level the max prestige is, though. On Black Ops, I believe there's like 10 levels prestige. Jagex would probably do something like crazy and maybe make it to like 50 or 100. Keep us addicted forever. Oh! All right, so on a super closing note here, fun little Friday little vlog. Let me know in some nasty Durlo comments below what you think might be some ways that Jagex can really bring back integrity into the game. I really do hope for the best, one, for this game, because if this game sees good things, then we all see good things. If you hope the worst for RuneScape, then for RuneScape 3, then all of RuneScape is going to suffer. We can't let RuneScape 3 fail, because if we do, then all of RuneScape is going to fail. Because if RuneScape 3 shuts down, Jagex is going to be seriously up our asses on old school RuneScape. You got to remember that. You got to remember that. So for my hardcore old school RuneScape lovers out there, remember that significantly. Super closing note, as always, Vito, Amazon book. As soon as I get some more free time, I'm going to be releasing probably another novel next year. Not going to be Vito Part 2 just yet. That's probably 2027. But for all of you people that have bought my, which have been a lot of you guys, thank you so much more than anything. I love you guys so much for all the great support over the years. Through paying subscriptions, let alone just being a subscriber in general, and not, it's totally free to subscribe. If you want to go a step further, support me directly, love you even more. Thank you so much, and see you all tomorrow if you only see this vlog. Otherwise, stay tuned. Let's get vlogging about some old school RuneScape now. Later.